How are you today? I'm Patricia Durgan, the Christian Message Coach. Welcome to One Step Closer. Oh, let me get my screen the way I want it. Welcome to One Step Closer, a live show designed to help Christian communicators like you market their message. On Monday, we talked about how to turn 6 seemingly random services into a systemized selling machine. It's a lot of S's. On Tuesday, we talked about the dangers and delights of having dozens of ideas. On Wednesday, we talked, I showed you proof that you're the only one who can serve your audience. And today, we're talking about the 5 key elements every online Christian communicator needs. Oh, Kim Fish, how are you? Love you. You don't need all 5 elements if you never plan to sell anything. But my clients do plan to sell something. They are supporting themselves, or they want to help support their families. So one of the ways that they do that is that they create services or products or programs, and they offer them for sale. Hey, Catherine Ross, so good to see you. I love all those hearts, Kim. If you could sell your knowledge. Let's start off with that. You could sell your knowledge as a paid speaker or a coach or a consultant, but don't fall into the trap that so many of us do. You're not offering your time for sale. You're offering your knowledge for sale. An event coordinator, a Mother's Day coordinator, Mother's Day speaking coordinator, a business event coordinator, they can hire somebody off the street for an hour and a half for a good price. But what is it about that person that they don't want? That person doesn't know their field. That person doesn't know how to get the customers or the audience from step A to step B. The person is a randomly picked, randomly selected individual who may or may not know anything at all of value to the people that they are supposed to be speaking to. So when you consider making a presentation, even if you do it for free, we'll come back to that, I hope, if I remember to swing back around. Even if you present something for free, you need to get something out of it because you bring value to the table. It doesn't have to be egregious. You don't have to charge $1,000 to speak at a Mother's Day luncheon. Of course, if you can get it, good on you. We're looking for people who value what we do, what we offer, what we know, and who we are. And oftentimes, we have to teach them that value. We have to explain that and identify that in our marketing messages. This is no slam against them. They have hundreds or thousands of people that they look at, information and so forth in a given month. The burden is on us to help them see our value. The burden is not on them to discover our value on their own. So you want to market yourself accordingly. Okay. Actually, that's not one of the 5 things though. Let me get back to the main thing. Content is the very first thing that we need. We need to have something that we can put in someone's hand. It might be a video series. It might be a PDF filled with content. It might be any number of different things. But we want something that draws our ideal target market. We talked yesterday for just a few minutes about the fact that each Christian has an ideal target market. And how can I be so sure? There's so many reasons. But one I'll give you right now is there are over 6 billion people living in the world right now. 6 billion people. Do we feel that Christ wants us to minister to each of those 6 billion people? That's totally unrealistic when you put it that way, isn't it? He's not a taskmaster. He won't burden us to the degree that we are unable to fulfill the role or the goal that he has placed on us. So that means if we are not supposed to serve 6 billion people, who are the people that we're supposed to serve? Oh, well, that's your ideal target market. Those are the people with whom you have had God conversations for years or decades. Those are the people that we talked about yesterday. They get your sense of humor. They value your insights. They like your character, everything about you. They don't think that you're perfect. We're not looking for that kind of a fan. We're looking for someone who is already in our life, that Christ has given us an instant connection, even if we met them just at the airport. We all had these instances. We meet someone at the airport or somewhere out of town, and we have a conversation with them and just instant connection. It's like we knew each other. This is Holy Spirit's doing. That person is in our ideal target market. So we need content to help draw those people online. In real life, we don't have to have content. Our knowledge and our personality and our character and the words that we say when we're in a conversation with them, that's what draws them to us. But online, that's not possible, right? We need to have content prepared so that they can discover how wonderful we are. So the content is usually, the platform determines the content. If you have a website and you're putting content on a website, then we're talking about a blog post or a blog post series. If you go on Facebook Live, like what I'm doing right now, and you have a live event, a live training, you go on YouTube. You can either upload something you've already created, a video you've already created, or you can now YouTube will let you go live on there. If you're doing social media, then usually you're going to have posts that you're going to be sharing, sometimes videos, yours or someone else's. What does your content reveal about you? We're not looking, and your audience is not looking for general content full of pablum that's not going to make a difference in their life. Some will have us so frenzied about creating content that we'll just slap something together and put it up online and hope for the best. And that works a few times, But generally, that's not what we're looking for. And as Christians who have had these God conversations for years or decades, we don't have to settle for that. We don't have to slap something together because we already know these people. We've talked to them for years and years and years. We know what makes them tick, the questions that they ask, the fears that they face. We can help them in ways that other people cannot. We've already talked about that. So does your content that you create, in whatever format online that you create it, does it reveal your character, your sense of humor, your personality, or is it just tacked on? Don't do that to yourself. That sells you short. Number two, key element number two, we need an opt-in. Now, this doesn't apply offline in real life, of course, but this applies online where we're trying to market ourselves. And the goal is to offer a piece of content, because we've already done step one, we've created something. The goal is to create a piece of content that is so interesting to our ideal target market and not the other 6 billion people in the world, that they will want it bad enough to give us their email address in exchange for that content. That's an opt-in. Some people call it the very first stage in an opt-in process is called the lead magnet, L-E-A-D, the lead magnet. And that's where you create something in content that's similar to leading people to an offer, a product, a program, a book, booking you for a presentation, booking you for a coaching appointment. You want to have something that's going to be a natural segue, so they give you their email address in exchange for the lead magnet, and they don't know it, but behind the scenes there's a series of steps going on, and the lead magnet is their introduction to you and vice versa. Now, it's really important to realize that if we don't have a list, an email list, you've heard for years, if you've been online, you've heard it for years. The money is in the list. What people mean by that, it sounds crass, but what they mean by that is if your email list, if you have served people for years, well enough and enough people, or both, hopefully, then you will have a sizable email list of people who have already raised their hand in the collective online world and said, I'm interested in what you're talking about. Would you give me some more information? That's the ideal. And when we have a long or a large or a thriving email list, then when we have products or programs or services, we can simply, because of the relationship that we've maintained from the very first time they talked to us in real life or online, usually online, and we gave them something of value, very quick, very short, but valuable, then they liked it and they stayed on our mailing list. They didn't unsubscribe. Now, as the months and the weeks and the months and the years go on, we maintain that relationship. That gives us a small amount of a relationship with them so that we can then offer things that we have to sell. We don't have to do it aggressively. We've all seen people who, how many times have you signed up for an email list to get something? You didn't really sign up for an email list. You signed up to get something that looked interesting to you. And in the next 10 days, you got 25 emails badgering you, asking you, please, 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 not using these words, but pressuring you to buy something. Okay, but we're not talking about that. We're talking about a Christian's perspective, a Christian approach. I am called to serve you. I have something that I think is valuable and I know that you will enjoy it or it will be beneficial to you in some way. And I'm going to offer it to you. And in exchange, don't want any money, don't want a penny, but just would you give me your email address? It's a very simple process. It is automated, so it's a little technical, but it is a simple process. Okay, the third element, we've talked about content. We've talked about having an opt-in, which is a lead magnet, is the very first stage in that process. We've talked about, we're going to talk about key element number 3. We need to have an offer. Let me check. Hello, Gail Johnson. How are you? Thank you so much for joining us. We need to have an offer of some kind. What do you have to offer for sale? Is it a presentation? Is it a book on Amazon? An ebook that you want to give away for free or for a few dollars? Do you have a set of 3 videos? Maybe 1 video that's very informative. What do you know that you could package and offer for free or for a fee? And a lot of us immediately say, nothing. Nobody wants what I know. But you are so wrong. You're so wrong. Because you know things about your message that other people don't know or don't remember or don't know how to apply. And you know all of those 3 things, at least all of those 3 aspects of your message. So we want to create something, even if we don't have anything created right now. We want to create a program or a product or a service. It can be minuscule. It can be enormous. I wouldn't suggest that the first time out of the gate. Hello, Jennifer. How are you? Thanks for joining us. I wouldn't suggest something that's enormous with 27 modules and 37 free cheat sheets. Not only do you not have time to create that, but people don't have time to absorb it these days. And yet we can create something of value. Now, for example, let's say a couple of ideas that I have just off the top of my head. I don't know anything about gardening. No, I don't know anything about gardening. When I walk by a plant, when I walk past a plant, it dies. It just dies. So, but I love the idea of gardening. I'm fascinated with container gardens and vegetable gardens and pathways to a secret garden. I just love the concept. I'm just getting chills thinking about it. It does something to me. But it's not safe for me to have a garden. However, let's pretend like I'm not that person. Let's pretend like I don't kill plants as I walk past them. But I'm interested in starting my first garden. Okay. Well, what could you tell me? Well, you know, you're a master gardener. You can tell me 3 years worth of content, but I can't absorb that, right? So in one page, what could you tell me about your topic that I don't know or that I probably don't know if I'm a beginner in that area? So literally, you could tell me anything and I don't know it. You could show me how to, in a video or a series of videos or in a free PDF or something that you charge $4.99 for, you could lay out a simple garden. Now that may be too complicated for me. Why don't we back it up a step? You could help me understand how to read. I don't even know what you call it, but in Southern Living, there's a there's a whole section that shows people the ideal weather patterns in their region in the South. And it helps them know if that plant is colored red on the tag, that means it will or will not succeed well in my area. Okay, that's way too technical for me. I'm already over my head. But you could help me understand the basics, the very, very basics. And we, as people who've had a message for a long time, we've delivered it for years, we've written about it, made presentations probably about it. We forget because we have the curse of knowledge. We forget how little a beginner knows. So ask yourself or ask someone else that you know who knows nothing or very, very little about your specialty, your specific message. Ask them, what would you like to know about this? And we're looking for 3 or 4 or maybe 5 points. Put it on one page, create it, transform it into a PDF, put it online or make it available to in any number of different ways that you want to. Now you'll have a lead magnet that you want to attach your email address to. So there's a process there. And we're not talking about the process today. We're talking about the 5 key elements. We have content, then we have the opt-in, we have that free valuable something, we have the offer. Now we're moving to purchase. You won't need to have an offer or to have a purchase environment or to have a delivery system if you never plan to sell anything. Is that what God has called you to do? Then I support that. If he has tickled your ears with the possibility of earning a little bit of money to help your family or to support yourself, these other 3 steps are going to need to be included. We need to make an offer. We need to have something to offer. We need to set up a process of a system for people to purchase. If you're going to run a business, let's say sales conversation is simply a conversation where you tell someone else in written form, like on a sales page online, or one-on-one at your church or in your community, what it is that you do and how they can benefit from it. They don't know what you do and or how they can benefit from it. Most people probably have a rough idea. Well, she's a writer, she's a speaker, she goes out of town all the time. That's not enough information for them to take their wallet out and their credit card and plunk it down on the counter. Again, this is marketing. We educate people of our value, our message, and not just our message, but how our message can impact their lives. Because otherwise, we're a street preacher standing on the corner, thumping people over the head with the Bible and asking them if they're going to go to hell or heaven that night. The burden is on us to market and help people see our value and see how our message can help them change their lives. Do we give them tools? Do we give them resources? Do we walk them step by step? Do we have free handouts? What is it that we do? What practical way do we exchange our knowledge for someone's money? This is all a sales conversation is. It can be boisterous. It can be obnoxious. We used to live in Chattanooga, and there was a used car dealer who had a television commercial he showed all the time. So it was a grown man in a chicken suit. So obnoxious. He wasn't just in a chicken suit, of course. I got it. I got it. I got it. I got it. Whatever kind of car you needed, he's got it. As soon as the commercial would come on, everybody in the house would run and turn the volume down. So we had to watch it for a period of time. Now that we don't have to now because we can record things, but at least we didn't have to listen to it. But we don't have to be that way. We don't have to be obnoxious. We're just explaining to somebody what we do. And they'll want to know without asking, what's in it for me? What difference does that make to me? And those are reasonable questions. Do you know the answer to them? How does your message help your client, your customer, your reader, your viewer improve their lives? Your marketing message is not complete until you know the answer to that question. Something to think about. We also want to offer the product or program or service for sale. We need to actually say it'd be $29.95. Would you like, what do they say? Cash, would that be cash or charge? We need to actually complete the conversation and not just explain who we are and what we do and how we help people and how it will improve their life. We need to actually say the words. Would you like to purchase that today? Or some version of that. Then the fifth key element after content, having a lead magnet, having a product or a program or a service, then having the sales conversation. It could be in writing on a sales page online. It could be across the dining room table at the local restaurant. Then we need to deliver it, don't we? So if you're a speaker, you'll show up and deliver a presentation. And if you have something to sell, you do have something to sell, don't you? DVD set, a book, a pamphlet, an ebook that you printed out, something. Take something with you and offer it for sale. Have it marked and so forth. Do you offer a coaching program? And so if you deliver that, what's the delivery mechanism? Do people come to your office in your town? Are they local? Are they across the nation and you do one-on-one Zoom calls? What's the delivery method that you offer your product or service or program to your clients? The people who've just purchased it, that's another step. How will they get it? Hopefully you've made it enticing that they want it. Now, how do they get it? What about an online training program? You'll need to store that content. So it might be videos, might be PDF content, might be transcripts, any kind of number of different ways. You don't have to have all of that stuff, but there will be content if you're offering a training program. There will be content for people to consume. Will you deliver it like I'm delivering right now, even though I'm not delivering something you've purchased? Will you deliver it to them in a Facebook Live training? Do you have a private Facebook group? Will you use video at all? Will it be a series of audio files? What about, as I said earlier, transcripts or PDFs? These aren't things that you have to know today, but these are things that you need to know as part of the process to make a sale. Okay? Almost finished? So you're only 5 steps away from a sale. 5 steps. And of course, there's a lot more to it. But this is the basic process. To have content, to have a lead magnet online, we need a lead magnet. Content, a lead magnet, and offer, which is a product or a program or a service. Something that's identifiable, has a name, and it has a process to it, and has results attached to it. Then opportunity to have a sales conversation. Then a delivery method. There's really a 6th one too. You want to maintain your relationship with everybody who's purchased or even signed up for one of your lead magnets. I have a program that dives deep into this subject. It's called Rethink Your Mission. I'll be talking more about it in the coming weeks. If you found this episode helpful, perhaps your friends will too. Would you share this video, please? I'd appreciate it. Join me tomorrow for Q&A Friday. I'll share 3 tools that you might like, and I'll answer 3 viewer questions, including this one. Is it better to have one short page for a PDF for a lead magnet or longer, multiple pages, almost like an ebook? Well, I'm going to answer that question tomorrow. Join me here. And if you have a question about monetizing your message or marketing your message, post it in the comments and I'll answer it next week on Q&A Friday. I pray that this episode has helped you get one step closer to preparing your message for the marketplace. I'm Patricia Durgan. I'll see you tomorrow. Thanks for being here.